So, yeah, I think we can just jump straight in. By the way, if anyone's unaware, AWA has been creating live report threads, if that sort of thing tickles your fancy. So I believe, there it is. GC iFU versus China. So yeah, feel free to, I don't know, live report. I don't really go to those threads myself, so not really sure how that works. Anyway, let us go into game number 1. It looks like the first map's gonna be Outlier, which means that's gonna be used for the ace match, if it gets down to it. Well, not really ace match, but the final set 7. So that is very interesting that we're gonna have this kind of quirky map repeated. So first up for Team iFU, the International Federation of Untouchables, it's going to be iFU, the Italian Protoss. I believe he's Italian. Ooh, falling victim to the messed up pathing here. This is not his fault at all. This just happens when you mine from this patch, unless you build like a pylon here or something. It's really annoying. So as you can see, he moved it to a different patch. Yeah, that's why I usually build the first pylon here to avoid that. Anyway, his opponent will be WK from Team China, here at the bottom right. As the Teal Protoss, he will not suffer any unfortunate pathing issues with his minerals. He's got them all nicely lined up. So you might even say that's a slight positional imbalance, but it's nothing serious, and if you've played on this map a couple of times in that position, you should be aware of it. So, so you can just look out for that. Anyway, let me see how these players have written their names. Alright. Oops. P12 versus P... should we call this 4 or 5? I'll call this 4. No, I'll call it 5. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So, nothing out of the ordinary here. Looks like iFU decided actually not to build it here. Okay, actually, is it actually fixed? Okay, actually it looks like the probe is fine. I guess you don't need a building there, actually. I think if you just manually click it inside first and then have it mine, I think it's fine. Okay, cool. Oh, we are having a 2-gate opening from iFU, though. That's very interesting. Now, this is not necessarily a bad map for that. Of course, actually, wait a minute. We're missing some game music. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I usually don't like 10-12 gate openings in PvP, but in this case it's a 3-player map instead of a 4-player map, and also it is a reverse ramp map. So I don't think this is necessarily bad. This could be quite effective. And WK looks like he's responding in turn. Of course, notice the second gateway is a little bit slower because he, I think, was originally planning a 1-gate tech opening, as is more usual in this matchup. And most likely actually canceled his gas here. I didn't actually see whether that happened, but I would assume he took the gas, canceled it, and threw down a second gateway in response to the 2-gate opener of iFU. Meanwhile, it looks like, ooh, got some double Manor Pylon going down here from WK here. First Manor Pylon doing a nice block here, forcing these probes to go all the way around the back to mine there. Didn't actually trap any probes though, but this second one did trap a probe and is also causing some slight pathing things. But because of this gap here, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You see the probes don't have that much farther to go. Oh, it looks like this guy got messed up and went to the bottom right as well. Anyway, with the 2-gate opening, I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue for iFU. As you can see, he's just going to kill these straight away with an idle zealot, not actually killing it. Oh, does he get the probe? He does get the probe. Not before 2 more probes are trapped by this Manor Pylon, though. I think he should actually send the other 2 zealots to go finish this off. Well, actually, I don't know. They're going to go over there now. Either way, this pylon, it got 2 probes, which means it might have been okay. I presume he canceled that, but it's kind of a strange choice to be going for aggressive Manor Pylons against somebody who's opening 2-gate when you didn't even plan to 2-gate yourself. Manor Pyloning is something that, you know, if you're the one going for a 2-gate, or you've gone for, like, you know, Zealot, Core Zealot, and you see your opponent went for a Core first, you punish him by going for or you punish his lack of Zealots, or his slower Zealots, by Manor Pyloning, and getting your own Zealots in to do some aggression. Ooh, that's a bit of a mistake. But in this case, WK did it kind of the opposite, and he's actually expanded as well. I actually really like this choice. Look at this, because the way this map is, or the architecture of the map, is that there's this narrow ramp actually here that he can hold, and oh, he might actually trap a Zealot. Doesn't quite trap it, but as you can see, he can actually hold the narrow ramp, which is the shortest paths between their two bases. And if iFU actually wants to attack and not up a narrow ramp, if he wants to go through the wide path, he has to go all the way around this little thing. So it's quite a bit farther for his ults to go, especially considering how slow these ults are. So WK actually very interestingly doing the defensive 2-gate into expansion here. Although it looks like doesn't even quite get the Zealot with 3 HP, and that Zealot can actually regenerate its shields and stay in the fight here. But now it's 5 Zealots against 5 Zealots with the reinforcements. Although it looks like one Zealot immediately getting picked off. iFU, it seems, with the slight Zealot edge earlier on, is managing to push back WK. He sees the expansion, he's got one Zealot at the top, not quite doing anything. It looks like a few probes actually pulled from WK here. He's a little bit nervous about this attack. It looks like he actually cut Zealots at some point. So even though he went defensive 2-gate against iFU's 2-gate, he is really lacking in the Zealot numbers, although a bit of miscontrol by iFU, letting those two Zealots hit the Nexus. Is probably going to allow WK to hold this with the help of those probes. I think he'll be fine here. Although, of course, this is really hurting him to be losing all this mining time. But yeah, he should be just fine here. And looks like iFU, ooh, not even getting that Zealot out. So WK does hold, having pulled something like 6 probes there. Meanwhile, so his core is already done. Looks like he's got 4 guys on gas. I'm actually not sure if that's a mistake or not. Not necessarily is. It looks like the core just now finishing up for iFU as well, because there's actually a thread on this, I think, in the Brood War strategy section recently. But basically, if you put 4 guys on gas, you get ever so slightly more gas than if you put 3 guys on. The reason most people only put 3 is that it's a lot more efficient. Basically, if you put 4 on, you mine basically at the rate of like 3.1 probes or something, or 3.2 probes. So you're not really getting the full value of that probe from the mining. But I mean, if your minerals are already mostly saturated, it's definitely not a bad move to put a 4th guy on there, especially if you're going for some kind of tech play. But instead, it looks like we're actually going to see a 4-gate follow-up here. No robo whatsoever from WK. Instead, he's actually gone for a forge here, just in case there is some kind of crazy DT follow-up from iFU. And in fact, it is going to be just that here. We do see a Citadel from iFU. It's very interesting. I was wondering, if he's skipping the robo, is he that confident that iFU is actually not following up with DTs? I mean, after all that early Zealot aggression, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to pin your opponent exactly where he is in his tech. And whoa, looks like WK is trying to snipe this red Dragoon. Is he going to get it? He does, but might also lose his own Dragoon here. He's trying to escape with both of these Dragoons. If he gets away, that could be a decent trade for him. No, he doesn't. So it looks like trades away all of his Zealots here, and actually having to build a couple of cannons to defend now, but those are not going to be up in time. He does have 4 Dragoons, so I think with some good micro here, WK should be okay though. Yeah, iFU looks like, oh man, he even got 1 Zealot messing up on the AI, running around the long way instead of joining his comrades here. So this attack really not going to do anything here. And decent control by WK is going to keep all these Dragoons alive, so iFU is just going to retreat with that Dragoon, retreat with the Zealot as well. Ooh, does he see it? Oh, I think if he saw that Zealot, he could have just run it down as well, but not quite going to get it. Meanwhile, iFU getting cannons of his own here. Of course, he needs the cannons because he's going for the DT tech, so there's no way that he would be able to have a robo in time to get observers if WK had gone for DTs, so he needs those cannons to defend. WK, on the other hand, just kind of chose not to get a robo, just get those cannons instead, and he's going for a big Dragoon counterattack, but of course with the DTs there, ooh, what is this? Ooh, I'll talk about this in a second, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be able to do too much. The 2 cannons are already finished, and in an emergency, iFU can use the DTs to defend. Of course, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to reveal the DTs, or he wants to reveal them as late as possible, basically. And I don't know why he's built a pylon here. I thought he might have been thinking about building a gateway there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of missing the battle here. Wow. He should not be engaging here. He should be standing back here with his cannons. I don't know why he sent his Dragoons out that far. Now he might actually die, or at the very least he's going to use... No, okay, he's not going to die, but he needs the DTs to defend now. Yeah, so now the DTs are revealed, and WK, he's got the cannons to the front already. He might want one in his main. He's building a robo now, but... yep, there's the cannon in his main. Oh, he's actually building 2 cannons in main. I like this. Playing very safe here, not going to take any risks. Of course, it is a bit of an investment in static defenses, but... there is a risk on this map that your opponent will try and trick DTs in the back. As you can see, this probe's going down here. What's it actually doing? Not really sure, but Oh wow, he's actually mined out the back. Oh, now I see what's going on. Okay, he actually mined out the back. Because I was going to say, is he going to trick it through both ways? But he's actually just mined out his own back minerals here, and is going to trick a DT in through the back minerals of his opponent. Now, there's a spotting pylon here. I don't think that wall's here, though. I'm pretty sure this DT can actually walk through while both players argue about lag. But this little pushing trick is actually extremely difficult. Let's see how well iFU can actually execute this. Yeah, it's just so hard to actually push this DT through. And I'm not sure if he's gonna, like, if he fails again, he might actually just not even bother anymore. It's a little bit of a waste of APM, to be honest. Especially since the cannons are done, the observatory is halfway done, and yeah, it looks like his DT just cannot figure out how to jump over those minerals. So iFU actually made a couple more DTs here. Now, these are not particularly useful at this point in time. I mean, especially just standing at the natural, you should probably go and make sure there's no hidden expansions on the map or something like that. But I feel like perhaps these DTs were made earlier when the Dragoons were attacking and he was a little bit scared of them or something. Because he has, like, the one DT at the front and then the one DT at the side were the original two. And he made a second set, which oftentimes is actually not the best idea. Because as you can see, it's just kind of a wasted investment at this point. But he has got for High Templars as well. Wow, actually getting a lot of High Templars here while he adds 1 million gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gateways off 2 bases. That is a lot of gateways here. I feel like iFU might be going for some kind of 2-base all-in, but his opponent, though, is going for 8 gateways of his own, so should be able to match and has got a ton of ground units already. Look at this. Compare the ground army sizes. Just a handful of High Templar and a couple of DTs compared to so many Zealots and Dragoons. He presumably does, yeah, he does have a Citadel and getting Zealot leg speed, just now getting his archives as well. Meanwhile, iFU still trying to figure out how to push this DT across. Oh man, his probe already has just mined the minerals. Cannot do it here, and I'm pretty sure WK saw what was going on with the probe anyway. It's probably a little bit fishy when a probe keeps headbutting your minerals like that. I mean, you gotta know something's going on. And oh, very unfortunate for iFU, getting his shuttle spotted as well. This could actually get intercepted by Dragoons. Oh my god, it's gonna be huge. It's got 3 High Templars on a DT, and that is so expensive, but no! How did WK not actually intercept that? I could have sworn he saw it with the observer, or rather he did, but maybe he wasn't paying attention, so actually missing a prime opportunity, and this attack will not go well with 3 High Templars there, with Storms ready to defend. Those Storms are going to be so brutal here. I don't think this is the best attack. He's got a lot of units, but defensive Storms are going to be so good. Meanwhile, where's the Storm drop? There's a Storm on the natural, not the biggest probe saturation anyway. It's like 5 kills, 4 kills there. Meanwhile, the attack at the front is not quite over yet, and the High Templar are actually out of energy. This attack could actually do quite well here. All 3 High Templar have no energy, so morphing that into an Archon, there's 2 observers here, so we can't even make emergency DTs. This attack might actually do it. There's still 3 High Templar in the shuttle. The probes are running from the main. Where's the drop? Oh man, he's just floating by a cannon. The shuttle's being targeted. Storm on the probes. He kind of gets a few. The other High Templar running back to the natural here. They could get great storms off, but the problem is he's got no ground army. He's got to re-rally all his gateways into his main base. He's just got to sack the natural and try and do as much damage with these High Templars as he can. One Zealot taking them out here. This High Templar, it's got 2 storms on it. Where's the storms? Oh! One more! Ah! Getting so many probe kills, but at the cost of his own natural. The supplies 85 against 80 right now. iFU actually in the supply lead, having killed 1 million probes. Can he hold on to this attack? He's going to be fighting on the low ground against a superior number of Zealots, but, I mean, oh no, he's just not quite enough here. iFU, despite the insane economic damage, cannot quite hold on to his natural. I mean, that was a perfectly timed attack from WK, actually. I don't know if that was actually intentional to leave that shuttle alive or something, just to let iFU kind of focus on that and think he was gonna just, you know, do a ton of damage with that. But GG from iFU, blaming the lag. And WK takes game number 1 there with a very nicely timed attack. Let's actually see how many units were killed. Oh man. Actually, I thought it'd be way more. I'm pretty sure these are like almost all probes. Alright. So, going on to game number 2. And by the way, I'm not 100% sure how the rankings